My name is Tiffany Rice. I'm Spirit Medium Tiffany, which you can find me on Facebook, Spirit Tiff on Twitter, tiffanyrice.com, all of those. Tonight we have a couple special guests. We have Christine back with us, Christine Downs. She helps me out in a jam, and she pretty much every day of my life is some sort of jam. So thank you for the last minute phone call and scurrying on over.
No problem.
Scurrying. Scurrying. And welcome back. This is Necole Stephens, Spirit Medium Reiki Master. Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm very well. Very well.
Excited to be here.
I'm excited for
I
you.
apologize to everyone for all of the technical issues that you caused.
Well, every single time. No, every single time.
I was here at 5.
Every single time. And it's funny because one of the cameras, usually the light is on and there's no, do you guys know that? There's no light on. Here we go.
There we go.
I don't know if it makes a difference. Did it make a difference? Okay, so we're going to just keep on going. That's the kind of day we're having. A lot of technical difficulties. Usually when Nicole's on the show, lights flicker, sometimes lights don't come on. So this time it has prohibited us from actually airing the show for a half hour. So what we're going to do for you guys is we're extending the show tonight till 8:30. So yay, I'm excited. So definitely get those questions into the chat room. Christine's going to be on it.
Yep.
I do want to announce that we will not be doing readings tonight. I know a lot of you guys are down and out about that, but if you are interested in a reading, you can definitely contact Necole at her website, which is
NecoleStephens.com.
and we will get that in the chat room for you too. So with all of that being said, and the lights are on, that we are now online, how are you?
I am well. Lots of changes, a new year, new directions, new goals.
Uh-huh.
So I'm excited. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Yeah,
I
lots
am.
of changes for you.
Lots of changes, new year, new everything, you know.
Yeah.
I'm doing very well. I have an event coming up this weekend in New York. I'm going to be with Brian Kano, and it's taking place at Miss Fanny's, which is in Wappinger Falls. Have you heard of that?
No.
I've been there.
You've been there?
Yeah.
It's near Fishkill. I feel like I live under a rock because all of these names, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I've never been there. So it's going to be a haunting evening. I'm going to do a
I
gallery
get scared
reading.
of those.
No need. You're in between two girls that constantly do paranormal.
Yep.
And you don't need to be scared, but I'm going to be...
Did you see the new movie about Lizzie Borden? Or see it out? Because
I did.
immediately I saw it, and of course I was like, but I saw it and I thought of you immediately.
Did you get to see it, Christine?
No, I didn't.
It's not out yet, I don't think.
Oh, no, it aired on Lifetime.
Yeah.
Oh, is that where it was?
Yeah.
Okay.
With Christina Ricci?
Yeah.
Richie?
I saw it and thought of you.
You like paranormal, no?
I'm scared of the dark.
I'm surprised.
I am. I'm such a whim.
Because I used to be scared of the dark, but then once I started to really hone in on things, I decided that I wasn't scared. Although last night I did sleep with a nightlight.
I sleep with a nightlight every night. I really do. And with my
Do you?
husband, but I
Yes.
still...
You do?
You do too? See?
Yes.
I always sleep with a nightlight. I just need enough light. Because I don't know if this happens to you a lot or you, but I tend to have a lot of visitors at night. And I just don't like
In the spirit realm?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's clarify that.
In case anyone was misunderstood on that. So I don't like to be caught by surprise.
You don't want to be left in the dark.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Exactly.
So I wanted to have you on because I know that we had some changes. The last time we had you on, it was by the phone. And
Because of a snowstorm.
no, it was a thunderstorm. Because it was summer.
I don't
It
remember.
was some sort of, yeah.
I remember there was something
a storm
that
of
there was
some
a big
sort.
storm and for whatever was going on, and it was a little crazy.
Well, I've noticed that you started to switch gears a little bit.
I have.
And I think this is wonderful. So now you are a medium,
Yes.
but you are also a bereaved parent.
Correct.
Okay, and through that, you've decided to start going through pretty much a motivational speaking, motivational grieving process. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
It's motivational speaking, and about grief, but also about the afterlife and about, so it's still doing readings. I haven't, stopped doing that, of course, but it's incorporating all of it and really becoming connected to your loved one, as well as, learning the signs and hearing from them as I convey messages. And, becoming less connected to the grief in some sort of a way. So, you're still going to be connected in a very big way, but, your days become a little more manageable, and there is hope. You will make it through this somehow, and our loved ones help us through that. So I have been doing a lot of teleseminars with that. I have been doing, lectures, coaching, speaking, and I love doing it. I really do, because I want to add to mediumship. So I want to help, I want to teach, I want to help others open up and convey those messages. And
Well, because it's so much more than just the message. It's so much more than just the acknowledgments, just the message.
Because-
And go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, I didn't mean to
No, it's
interrupt
okay.
you. Because there's a whole process and a whole, there's many misconceptions of what we go through as a bereaved parent, or anyone grieving. It's not just bereaved parents, but it's just a whole process, and it's not just the messages, because you have to live day to day, and you are physically here. And how are you going to do that? And unfortunately, there's a ton of support out there, but you'll find it in the most obscure ways. It's the people that you would never expect, versus many people close to you tend to pull away because they don't know what to do with you. You don't know what to do with yourself, for the most part. And I don't mean to get my back towards you,
That's
so I'm
okay.
not being rude.
No, I
I'm sorry. But, we don't even know what we're doing ourselves. It's an emotional roller coaster. It's like, you're just constantly doing this. And people don't know what to do with you. They don't know if they should talk to you or tippy-toe or say something. They don't want to upset you or not upset you. And
it's really difficult because it depends on the individual and how they're going to be receptive to it. But even grieving, it doesn't even have to be about someone's passing. It could be a certain situation in one's life, an end of something, and that could be considered a grief. And I know firsthand, sometimes people aren't themselves when they go through this process. And it's really hard because people on the outside expect you to either cry all the time, or, well, you think that she'd want to be out here, or be part of the family circuit, or be part of her friend's circuit, or, and when the person who's grieving doesn't meet up to the people on the outside, their expectations, sometimes it can conflict a little bit.
it can. Everyone does it at such a different pace and a different level.
was just going to say that.
It's so different.
It
So
is, yeah.
what might be right for me, I tend to overfunction. But sometimes, for you, it may be better to curl up in bed, and that's where you feel comfortable. Who am I to judge what's right for you?
Right.
And then people will try to pull you out of bed. No, you have to go have fun. You have to socialize.
That's exactly what I mean. You get that.
And whereas not that I socialize, but I definitely.
She does socialize. She's not a complete hermit. She does socialize.
I do other things. I socialize, but
I'm her socialization. So she's like, oh, do I hide under a rock or talk to Tim? The rock's looking a little bit better today. I don't hear from Necole, and it's like, oh, she chose the rock today.
I make posts.
Yeah.
I stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning. But everyone is so different. Some people throw themselves into work, or whatever it is that's right for you. They read a lot. They may even read about the afterlife. They may go to mediums. Everyone's different. Some may shop, some may not. So what is right for one may not be right for the other, and people are very quick to judge. And I think that's where a lot of conflict comes. And another thing that's been a really big part of my speaking is the 5 stages of grief, or now as they say, the 7 stages of grief, and how I've heard so often lately of people saying, well, I'm in this stage, or I'm in that stage.
So they're zoning in and actually owning which stage instead of moving forward?
But no, not necessarily.
Okay.
But here's the thing, is that and I love Elizabeth Kubler-Ross, she's phenomenal. But when the stages of grief were written, they were actually written many years ago. It's kind of old school. And they were actually written for a terminal patient, someone who's terminally ill. And so that patient actually went through these different stages. I keep getting the flash of your shirt.
I'm noticing, because for you
keep,
guys
like-
that don't know, there's a monitor right up there, and I keep on getting the sparkle,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh,
like-
I feel very, should
I'm
I?
sorry.
But even this is sparkle. I am just glitter and shine tonight. So I'm just
It's
gonna,
okay. Bedazzle.
I'm just gonna bedazzle myself and go for it.
Oh
So
my.
the stages of grief. But is what happens is when those were written, they were actually written for the terminally ill patient. And so those were, when you're terminal and you're in that place, you go through the bargaining, you go through the denial, you go through all of those different stages. Whereas somebody who is grieving, they actually don't go through the same stages. Most people are in denial that their loved one has passed. They know that they have passed. And they really can't bargain that. There's really,
Right.
It's like, and I know for myself, I can't say, okay, well, I'll switch places with Zachary. Let's work on this. I promise I'll never do this again. There's no bargaining. So a lot of people I find that they get really, really consumed with the stages, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because it kind of gives us a place to be rather than wonder where we are. Does that make sense?
Right. Well, it's good when you may not be thinking clearly and someone starts delegating for you, because it's almost like, okay, well, they told me to be at this level, so I'm going to be at this level, and it's okay. And now my next level, I'm going to feel this.
Right.
Because it's
a
easier.
guideline.
Exactly. It's a guideline. It's easier to go through a process than trying to do it on your own, because we always hear, like, find your inner self, your
And
find
people
your essence.
wonder,
And
how do we find that? And,
Exactly.
where are we, and what do we do? I don't think that we, ever accept things, and this is the way it is, and we accept it. I know without a doubt that there's an afterlife, but I don't accept Zachary's passing. I acknowledge it, but do I accept it? That kind of makes me feel like I'm saying, like, it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay, and I do know that there is a soul contract and there is a plan, and he, had to do what was right, his plan. But I feel it's more of acknowledgement versus acceptance. So when I speak and I do seminars or lectures or coaching, it's kind of finding a different or explaining a different kind of criteria in different guidelines so that they're more suitable, so that it's just a little different. But if you feel comfortable in that guideline, follow the other one.
So now, what's the feedback given?
It's really been amazing. It's been so amazing. It's been positive, and many of my clients have made connections with their loved ones. I can just see the improvement with them, that their days are more manageable, and it just makes my heart so warm. Like, just to see the smile on their face or to hear it, it's just amazing.
So are there any quick tips that you could give us as far as how one would deal with grieving? Like, I know I always tell people, you know what, start off with a couple deep breaths.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
get out of bed.
Deep breaths.
Or stay in bed. Get in bed, stay in bed, and just take a couple deep breaths first and start there.
Well, I think it's really important to honor your feelings and what you're feeling. And if it is stay in bed. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If you need to take the break, a break during the day, take a break during the day. That is okay. If it's kind of like we've had open heart surgery. And if you had open heart surgery, you would take the time for yourself, right?
Right.
Because you would want to rest and feel better. So essentially you had open heart surgery. A piece of your heart just kind of got ripped out, and, it's hard.
Right.
So I think the number one thing is take that time and allow yourself to just kind of go through the emotions. Roll with them. Don't resist them. I resisted them for a while, and I didn't stay in bed, and I just overfunctioned. Grief wins. It catches up to you, and you kind of just go, I just need to breathe.
Right.
I just need to take that time, to just, and another thing that's really, like, the second thing I would say is, even though you don't want to do it, but take care of yourself, because it makes a difference. Get a good night's sleep. Try to eat better. And I know it's really hard when you're grieving, and especially when you're in deep grief and you don't even want to eat or you overeat. But what you put into your body really helps how you feel. And so if you're already feeling really, really lethargic and you're feeling just that you don't want to leave and then you're eating a ton of sugar, you just kind of feel worse, and then you're on a sugar high, and then you get cranky and irritable, and it kind of all, combines, snowballs. So I think it's really important to honor your sleeping, your eating. Meditation it's really finding your inner self. It's quieting your mind. When I say meditation, I don't do this. Like, that's not me. I actually lay on my bed. I put my headphones on.
We meditated together,
yes. I put my headphones on. I have crystals in my hand usually. I light my incense. I light my candles. And I just go off into the cosmos. And if I'm having a hard time staying focused, I'll do a guided meditation, which is phenomenal. And worst case, put the headphones on and take a nap. That's okay. Because if you fall asleep, that's okay. That's because you need it. So you're getting that sleep that you need and that rest that you need, and that's okay. And the other thing is, don't hide your feelings from people. If they ask you how you feel, tell them. I'm telling you.
I think these girls know.
If they ask you, how do you feel? Enough. I'm fine. To everyone out there, that's AKA, I feel like shit, leave me alone. Sorry. I'm fine means there's a problem, right?
Right.
How many times do you say I'm fine?
All the time.
Right? And are you really fine?
No.
No. And we do the push-pull thing. So we kind of like, we're pushing you away, but really want you to come closer. We're pushing you away. And
but it's different. It depends on who it is that's asking me that.
Right.
Tiffany, if she asks me if I'm okay, she knows just by looking at me that I'm not okay.
But some of my close friends, even if I say I'm fine, because I just, sometimes we don't want to burden or we don't want to talk about it, and we just feel bad.
Yes.
So we go, I'm fine.
And put the look on the face.
But, you're like, I'm fine. But inside, you're just like, all right, come on, just ask me more, Or...
I like the, no, really.
No, really.
No, really.
Who says that? I don't know what she's talking about. Not really. So, talk about what you feel. It's okay. You're allowed to feel. Your feelings are yours. You own them. If you feel angry, it's okay. Say, I'm angry. I'm angry about what happened. Another thing... Do you want me to really do it on here? Because I do another thing that I really think...
Okay.
No, well, sometimes I'm not a good yeller. Okay. My kids will beg to differ.
Oh, we talked about this, yeah.
I'm a whiner, so it's, Tiffany! Like, I'm a whiner. It's horrible. So I tend to keep everything inside, so I work out a lot. So that's kind of my thing. But if I'm at home, and I even have my younger son doing this, I do something, it's shaking it out. So...
Oh. Are you going to perform that first?
Would you really like me to?
Well, yeah.
Christine doesn't know. She'd like to know.
So
really?
Show me.
Okay, so if you're feeling stressed,
okay,
and you have to try it. No one has to see you. You just have to do it all by yourself. Even if you're in the bathroom, go sit on the floor so you don't fall or anything. Okay. You can put your headphones on, put your music, whatever you need to do. But I'm not joking. Like, try to do it for 1 to 2 minutes, okay? Don't laugh at me. Okay, do it with me. Okay, so I want you to put your arms up, right? And I just want you to shake.
We just lost the ring. Did it work?
It did. That's really
that was your ring.
That never
we
comes
don't
off.
have a lot of
Okay, that
here.
never happens though. So that's
well, a lot of things that never happen seem to happen here. So
that ring just like I don't even wear my wedding ring, and I wear that ring. Can you go find my ring?
Right now?
Okay.
I don't even have my glasses on.
Yeah. Okay, well we can do it later, but that's like my ring.
Do you need the ring to continue on with the interview? Okay,
No,
Christine, continue
I'm
on.
fine.
No, it's all right.
I'll look for it. You stay.
I'm fine.
Well, no, I don't
She's
want questions to be. Ow.
It's okay.
Ow. Okay, we're having issues here. I'm looking for it now.
We have to pick that up. It's right over there.
Wait.
All right, I'm not shaking it out anymore here.
Oh, there it is.
I totally just like was vulnerable in that situation.
I'm
totally shook it out.
Ow, ow. I'm injuring myself.
That's okay. I just stubbed my knee.
I'm back.
Okay.
I'm back. Ah,
Thank
the
you.
ring.
I can't believe that. That doesn't come off me ever.
Well, you're also freezing, so maybe it's not fitting very well right now.
That was a little wild. All right, so you shake it out. So do you want to shake it out?
Well, I thought I just did.
Maybe you should take the ring off.
I'm taking it off. So did you shake it out?
Well, Why isn't Tiffany doing that?
Because
today?
no,
Well,
I am good at. I'm good.
You're good at
I'm
shaking
fine.
it out?
I'm fine.
She's
Okay.
embarrassed. See, I'm not shy.
She's
on the
not
other
shy.
hand. I didn't think she was.
I'm serious. Try it. Just try it.
Okay.
We're just
So-
looking like a bunch of apes in here, okay? We're just
Now,
swinging
just
arms.
shake it. Like, shake your head. Just shake everything out. Like, pretend or envision all of the energy leaving your fingertips. I didn't say dance.
Right.
Shake.
But I am shaking
And
it.
you can even start like this. This is how I got my
Shake
son to
where?
start.
Do you listen to
Sweat,
Florence
sing
and the Machine?
I do.
Shake
Go
it.
nuts.
Seriously, I really do.
Yeah,
I'm not
well,
even
you
joking.
should. We should.
Huh. So
It
I
should be-
start
I really
sometimes like
like
this,
it. Yeah.
and then just keep going
And just
up,
go.
and you just shake
Shake
out
it.
all of that energy. You're moving
Get all the
stagnant.
toxins out.
You're moving.
I
that
like it.
She's in a funky mode right now. She's in a funky comedina right now.
You're getting rid of all the stagnant
I am.
energy.
I know. I need it.
So it does really help. You're just laughing at me now.
I'm not.
I'm just
No.
kidding.
No, we like it.
But you know what?
So-
I mean, everyone has a certain way of doing that, and you just show us another tip.
That's
Because
right.
I probably will be doing it. Tiffany's bathroom.
Yes,
tomorrow
I
morning.
know. I'm like, what's
I
that noise?
don't like just walk around my house doing it all. I mean, sometimes I do, but
I may.
you know, I definitely just shake it out, especially during the day, in between sessions, and just kind of it's moving the energy. It's like we're so filled with all of this.
Well, it's true. I mean, I always align chakras and clear out chakras, and all the time I'll ask, so how was that experience? And then people will tell me, wow, I actually felt like they usually go from feeling anxious and tense to relaxed and calm and grounded.
Because you're shifting
So-
all the energy and you're moving it, and that's what a lot of us don't know how to do. You're gonna let it.
And aligning.
Shake it out. Someone's saying, shake it out. You're half shaking.
Oh, they want to do the stand-up shake.
Oh no, I'm not doing that here.
right.
I actually always sit and do it, so
Do you sit and do it?
I really do. I sit in my chair and I just shake it out. And I tend to sit on the floor a lot, so I like to sit in Indian style, and I just shake it out.
And if there's any questions, let us know too, because I know sometimes
That's
we
what
do
I'm
talk.
waiting for.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
Well, now they just think that I'm crazy. No,
She's not.
They're probably still trying to get online. They're
Right.
like, is this working? Is this working? So that's a great new endeavor that you have going on. And I'm so
do.
proud of you for being able to share and teach us some tips, because I know a lot of people at home are always looking for tips on just how to get through the day.
And when
Just
you're
how to
at that
get through.
moment that you feel like you're gonna break, shake it out.
And nobody wants to be judged. And I think when you feel, like you just mentioned, oh, I must be vulnerable. We all have that vulnerable moment, and the last thing we want is someone to say, well, you should probably react this way, or you should, why aren't you crying? Why aren't you happy? Why? And you just want to say, why are you asking us so many questions? Just stop.
Right.
Just stop. I choose the rock today. Under the rock.
Yeah.
So you have to learn to just respect your own space.
That's right. It's important, and it makes a difference.
And for those of you guys that are joining us at home, we have Necole Stephens on, Spirit Medium, Reiki Master. I say it because that's what's on your Facebook page.
Oh.
So I'm just...
I actually haven't been doing a lot of Reiki for a little while.
I
but-
know. We
Because
tend to
now I
keep...
do a lot of more spiritual mentoring, coaching, and traveling.
I know. Well, that's what I was just going to lead into. You do a lot of traveling.
I do. I love it. I love it. So I'm actually going to Gig Harbor, Washington, New York, Staten Island. New York is sold out. I think I still have some availability in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and there's still more to be added, but I'm just doing them in increments. And so I think I'm kind of just sticking with that for a little while. I love doing it. So I go for 2 days or 4 days. I keep extending them.
Right.
So I go for several days and I do private sessions. And it's just amazing. I meet so many wonderful people. I mean, I do as well here, always.
Do you do the gallery readings there too, or
No.
just private? Oh, so you
I do
just
all
do
private.
privates.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of just my niche. I like it.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. It works really well for me. So, and I have to say hi to Roy tonight.
Okay.
Because I had a session with him today, and he's just
That's
an
so far
amazing.
away.
I know he's an amazing, amazing man, and he was telling me how amazing the universe was. He was saying how wonderful it is, and he's just so blessed. And he was actually telling me about flying squirrels, because his mom was acknowledging some
Yes.
squirrel-ish, things that had happened, and he was explaining. Did you ever know anything about a flying squirrel?
No, I just know of flying squirrels.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no clue.
I go way back.
I said, we have bats.
I do know.
Just like,
Flying squirrels, yeah.
and then on my ride down here, I told my husband about it, and he said, Nicole, we had one in the house. Like, we had a flying squirrel in our house, and he was telling me about one of the boys' birthday, or I had 2 of the boys' birthday parties together, and we had flying squirrels. I don't know. So I wanted to say hi to Roy.
Hi, Roy.
He was a cutie. I had really great readings today. I met so many wonderful
Good.
people.
Good. And that's the thing, too, is like, that's kind of what I wanted to kind of touch base on as well. I know we're talking about traveling, but I also want to talk about readings, because time and time again, we get a lot of the same questions that come up. Okay? So, for instance, one question is, what can I expect during a reading? What can I expect? And I think everybody's experience is going to be a little bit different. But I mean, and if you want to add to this too.
Oh, absolutely, because most of the information that I receive, I don't understand. It's, the way I'm receiving it, and I convey it for you, and I will tell you, I don't understand it. I only know what they're telling me. For me, it's not 1-800-HEAVEN, so it's not a direct
Simply
phone
just conveying,
line.
yeah.
I'm just the messenger and conveying it the way I'm getting it. And I think sometimes maybe the expectations of certain people are, just may be that it is more of a direct phone line.
Well, I always get that too. I always explain it. If it's not like your favorite uncle wrote on this paper and he's telling me to read verbatim, line for line, what he's saying. It's, for me, I get a lot of images. Sometimes I hear them. And I do my best. I always say I'm not here to convince you, but I'm here to show you what I'm being shown. Because ultimately, the message isn't for me. It's not for you. It's not for you. It's for the person that's in front of you or the family that's in front of you. So we're just merely given pieces of the puzzle, and it's up for you to process. That's why I think it's imperative that people take notes. Take as many notes as you can.
Oh,
Sometimes people bring recorders in.
I break those, but I do say you can bring a recorder, but I'm horrible with them. But I always absolutely take notes, keep them. I think that's very important.
It's so much information to process, and so it's good for when you go home and you take the time to go over those notes and just allow the information to digest, because I'm going to tell you 9 out of 10 times, and I'm sure you will agree, people will always get back to us and say, hey, remember when I said I didn't have an Uncle Norman? I do, and I don't know why I didn't think of him, because it can be overwhelming. So I think what to expect during a reading is expect a lot of information. Expect to maybe not piece it together right away, but take notes, be detailed.
I think sometimes one thing that I have encountered a lot is they don't know them. So they'll be acknowledging someone and, they don't know them. I'm like, well, we kind of have to go a little bit deeper. And I don't like to put any spin on it in any way. I just like to convey what I'm getting. And 9 out of 10 times, as you said, that they will understand it. And, oh, well, I just did whatever I did, with so-and-so this weekend or last weekend or whatever it may be. And then they understand and it all gets put together.
Exactly.
And it's their, loved one's way of saying, I see what's going on, I hear what's going on, I'm around you, I see, this.
I always say, that's the way of saying I may not be here physically, but I'm still here. I still know. In spirit.
That's right.
Another question that I'd like your opinion on, because I get this frequently too, they always say, well, why, I thought when our loved ones passed, they are no longer in our physical body. And so they just emit a light. They could just be of light form. And how I describe it is that they show me how they want to appear in their heyday. So
what is a heyday?
A heyday is like, okay, so for instance, say if I'm connecting with someone who passed at an elderly age, okay? They may come to me in their heyday of, say, 30s and 40s.
Their heyday?
That's what it's called. You've never heard of flying squirrels either. Their hey
How about
day.
a
Have you heard
rock?
of hey day?
Yes.
Their hey day. Like they're like hoorah day. Like
See, that's not actually from me. Mine's different.
Mm-hmm.
Spirit usually will come through as their loved ones know them. So if they crossed an infancy, they'll come through as an infant, or if they, at their time of crossing, typically.
That's when. Okay.
So that's just how it works for me. But we're all different in how we
Exactly.
I'm going to ask you now a question. Why is that? Why is it that?
connect. Different?
Yes. Why is that different?
There's no rhyme or reason to anything with the afterlife.
Okay.
Right. Take logic out.
Yeah.
Get out of
logic.
your human mind. And
Most mediums aren't this, like they don't like hear the same, have the same symbols, the same messages, completely different.
Okay.
Are you clairvoyant?
yes.
So, and a lot of mediums aren't, but everyone's different again.
Everybody. Yeah.
And sometimes mine shifts too. I will actually be more clairaudient where I hear more, and other times, depending on spirit, I'll be more, it can be more clairessence,
Right.
It's always different.
Okay.
So, and I,
Spirit runs the show.
yeah, that's what it comes down to is spirit runs the show, and
Mm-hmm.
it's all up to them, and I just convey. But spirit will typically show me them at their, not necessarily at their time of passing, but around their general age of passing. But I have to stop saying ages lately. It's kind of funny because younger, say, girls or guys, they look older to me now, or I'm getting older.
We're
Does that
getting
make sense?
ancient. We just keep on getting older.
Mike told me we were of older age.
Oh.
We're not old, we're of older age. And
Okay.
I was like, really? And I didn't really feel that until I looked in your bathroom there tonight.
I know. The light that I have in my bathroom is
Oh.
very, very bright. Kind of like these lights.
Yeah. I
It's
aged
very,
like
very
10
bright.
years.
And we were counting our wrinkles.
Like, what happened?
We age gracefully. That's all.
You know what? They're all little war lines.
Each year, another one
Yeah.
added.
I wonder what's happening. I have, someone says that you guys know you're off the air on WCTV, right? What's happening back there, Matt?
No one got
Okay.
to see us shaking it up.
Oh, I think we're good.
We good? Okay, good.
I was a little concerned there for a
Well,
minute.
for anyone who doesn't get to see this, I don't know if I should say it or not. I was going to say.
Yes, you can.
But
Sorry.
I'll send it out in my newsletter.
Okay.
So it will go out if you're on my newsletter list.
Excellent.
Yay.
So that's why I wanted to touch base with a couple things, because there are questions. Another thing, another question that always comes to me is, why do our loved ones, or how can our loved ones turn into a dragonfly, a butterfly, a hawk? And I feel
I
like
don't know.
they don't actually turn in. It's not that they've turned
It's metaphorically.
into. Yes, yes, that's what I wanted to say.
Okay.
But that's why I said it's not the actual physical form of
Act
like
of.
they've turned into. It's just metaphorically.
Right. That they
And
do.
a lot of times, I always say, for spirit, when you're thinking of your loved one, ladybugs, dragonflies, butterflies, cardinals, hawks, those are huge. They seem to always appear when you think of your loved one. Pennies.
Actually, I've been hearing dimes lately. Well,
Dimes.
today I did. I heard dimes.
I've heard dimes before, too.
I would like quarters. So, Dad, if you can send me some quarters, that would be great.
I actually did a reading last week, and there was a dollar bill, and she knew what it meant, but I was like, I guess there's inflation, or it's going up over there, because now they're sending dollar bills.
Yeah,
So
I love it.
I know.
I love it. So, what's your take on that?
I believe it's metaphorically that they don't actually turn into. It's that they're representing themselves at that moment that you think, or your mind starts to drift to them, and then the butterfly lands on your hand, or wherever it lands on. Be open to that. That they are. It's their way. Usually, you'll have a special connection with something that you just know, and you feel it so deep in you that no one can tell you any differently. You can absolutely just feel it, and you just know.
And you have to trust it.
Yes. But I think when you feel it that deeply, you do trust it, and you're almost afraid, and you don't want to tell anyone because you're afraid that they'll ruin that whole moment
Right.
for you because they're going to think you're crazy. Those are the ones you just know are real. When you go, I didn't want to tell anyone because I know they'll think I'm crazy. No, that's really a sign.
We're all a little crazy.
Oh, yeah. But nothing's crazy to us even though we're a little crazy, you know what I mean?
Exactly, because we hear and see it all.
It's funny because sometimes my clients will say to me, "You're going to think I'm crazy for this," and I'm like, "No,
No,
probably not."
not so much. What's your take on numbers when people see numbers consecutively, like for instance on license plates, or you look at the clock? I mean, what's your opinion?
I actually am a huge numbers person, like obsessively with numbers. So they actually rule a lot of my life, not just with my loved ones, but in things that I do and decisions that I make. I run a nonprofit for my son, and I actually will base decisions on numbers that I get. And one of the things a lot of people say, well, how do I know what it means? Or, you know, and you kind of establish a relationship with numbers in some odd way. But one of the things I'll say is ask yourself what your last thought was, and kind of go off of that. And then you'll find, so for example, I don't know, you were going to buy the oranges and you chose not to. So then you see, whatever, I'm going to go fours, I'm just, whatever. Fours for me, personally, are not good numbers. For other people, they're wonderful numbers. It's just for me, they're not good numbers. So if I see a 4, I know not to do something. And I established that through many years of saying, you know, what was my last thought, and knowing what my outcome of that was. And then I built off of that, sort of.
Right.
And so now I just trust it. So if I say, if it's a fundraiser, you know, should I do this fundraiser or not, you know, and I see 4s within a certain amount of time, I don't do it. And if I see another number, then I do something, you know.
I mean, would you think that's superstitious?
No, I don't believe in superstition.
Okay.
I do have a question for you. Someone's asking, what's the weirdest sign that has come forward for someone you've read?
Weirdest? I don't think any of them were weird, though.
Nothing that surprises you? Anything that you went, wow, that's different?
Did I tell you of any? Like, oh my gosh. Where's Michelle? She knows. Cause
I know.
Holy cow.
Well, for me, for readings, I've seen frogs. People have told me frogs, and every time they see a frog, and that's not part of the popular category.
I have a frog toe ring because of that. It's on me like right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
How did I know that?
I don't know. Nobody knows that. I have boots on. But frogs are something for me that are significant. I'm trying to think of one of them. I can't think of one off the top of my head. There's so many different things, and there's so many that I go, oh my gosh.
I know through readings I've heard some pretty shocking things that I didn't expect to hear or come out of the person that I was receiving information on.
Such as?
Certain places. I was giving a reading and I was connecting with someone's grandfather in spirit, and he went on to tell me exactly where a certain tattoo was. And I kept on getting images, and I'm thinking, no, this...
I was at that gala
No.
reading.
Yeah, like, no, that's not right. And sure enough, by using my discretion appropriately, I did get around to it, and I kept on saying, well, your grandfather keeps on showing me this tattoo, and he's telling me that it's in a funny area. And right away, the family burst out laughing, and they were so excited. They're like, it was in a particular area on him, and certain areas that can't be seen while wearing clothing, so it was pretty funny.
I mean, I've
It's pretty
definitely
funny.
had situations like that.
Like
come
shocking.
through.
Like
I
I was a little embarrassed by it.
I've had several shocking, but I couldn't even disclose them on here. One of them there's one really funny one about a washing machine, but we're on TV.
Well, one would only know
Right.
what a washing
Yeah.
machine.
And that person probably is watching, and she knows.
Well, I think we all just tuned in to you, so. A washing machine.
Her grandmother was acknowledging the washing machine. But, you know, there's a lot of things that come through, but nothing ever bad for me. It's just, you know, things that will absolutely make sense to my clients. And
Right.
they go, oh my gosh, you know.
Why would they bring that up? Yeah.
Like, but usually they laugh about it, and it's all...
Exactly. It's
yeah,
always like a
nothing
fun,
bad.
it's a fun
They don't
experience. It's
ever
not
say
bad.
anything to, like, you know, make them feel like they're being judged or anything. It's
And that
just-
brings me to another question is, I always get asked, well, can they see me when I'm taking a shower, or if I'm being intimate with my husband, or, you know, and
It's just unimportant, you know, it's not important to them.
Exactly,
It doesn't matter to them.
exactly. Would they want to watch while they were here? No. So chances are,
They're
or I'd hope
busy.
not, but chances are they're not going to be watching you while you're doing your personal business.
No, they do see all, but it's just not important to them, and it's very different.
Exactly.
So they don't really, they're not here to judge.
And that's one thing I like, and I always say this too about connecting with spirit, loved ones in spirit, is that all that judging, all that belittling, that just dissipates. And
That's what I always say, it just dissipates.
Yeah.
It just dissolves.
and it doesn't matter. It doesn't, what matters is what happens here in the heart and how they feel. And it goes on emotion. It goes on what they want to do, what they want to say to you, what's the information they, whether it's a message or just a validation, because sometimes people will come to me and say, I just want that message, I just want that message, but they come forth with more of a validation of saying, hey, you know that Tom Petty song that you were listening to in the car ride, I put that on for you. Like, a lot of times they just want to do that.
And often someone will miss that whole experience because they're so focused on that
Yes.
one sign or that one message that that's what their intent was, and they just came with that intent to just hear that one thing. And you know, you don't want them to miss out on that whole other thing, that they were in the car and they heard this song, and you know,
But a
there was-
butterfly didn't fly by at the same time,
there
so
was-
it couldn't be him. You
There was
know?
actually, I had a husband come through who was so funny, and he was like a hoarder, they kept saying, and I remember him saying, I think it was Snickers, but she loved Snickers and had just bought a bag or something.
That
like,
sounds so good right now.
and I don't know, there's a whole funny story about it, but it was just that reading, like he was just so joyful and funny about things, and he was saying things, and I don't know why I went into that. It just brought me to this place of the Snickers. Maybe you were thinking of Snickers. And that's
I'm thinking about anything that's edible right about now. I'm ravenous as usual.
so, like, but he, you know, he
I see
said-
us going out to eat after. Dragging you to Dunkin' Donuts for a heart-shaped donut.
with the brownie inside.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have those.
Right to food. Let me ask you a question about your mentoring. Is there stages when you go and mentor?
Stages as far as where you are in your mediumship?
Mhm.
Not really.
No?
I'm pretty open to it, but I'd like you to kind of have some idea of where you are.
Okay.
And I actually go through a process. So, say you wanted to mentor with me. Mentor with me? There's actually, like, I have you fill out a form. I also have you write an essay. I'm a little.
Wow.
I'm kind of strict. I need to know that why you want to do this and why, you know, this is your choice and path. Because there's some reasons, I won't say them, because I don't want anyone to not put them in there if it's really what they're
Right,
feeling.
right.
But there's some reasons that you should not be doing this.
Okay.
So I'm kind of a little strict. And then I mentor you and help you hone in on your special gift versus when I do a group, which I actually haven't done in a long time, doing psychic development groups. So when I do a group, it's more broad.
Mm-hmm.
So this is, you know, just really honing in on what's for you and teaching you to balance and protect.
And how long is your program? Like, how long will you do that for?
Typically 8 weeks.
8 weeks.
So every week
Wow.
we meet for an hour, whether it's via phone, Skype, or in person.
Mm-hmm.
And we meet for an hour doing that.
Wow.
And it usually tends to be more, because I tend to go overtime on things.
We all do. That we
Right.
never have any
We're on spirit time.
Yeah.
Even my alarm clock.
tip time, I call it.
My alarm clock in the morning says spirit time. When I wake up. Ready for the day. And that's another thing, just to, I know I get sidetracked a lot, but is your intentions for the day. It makes such a huge difference. Before your feet even touch the floor, if you already have in your mind, when you open your eyes, like, I'm not doing this today, it's not happening, it's going to be a bad day, it's going to be a bad day. And if you have your intentions shift just a little bit to, I'm going to just try my best, your day really goes a lot differently. So especially, if you're grieving or you're not grieving or grieving in a different way, that intention, it really does help. And it's something very, very small, but it's really important and powerful. Our words are extremely powerful.
Because it changes our mind.
It does. And it doesn't change our heart.
I have to ask you. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yes. No, I was just saying it doesn't change our heart and what's in there, but it does change our mindset in some way. It shifts things. It shifts things.
There was something online. I sound like my mother now. Did you catch it on the internet? So there was something online recently that was just posted, and it was an experiment. I think it took place in Japan. But this person had 3 glasses of rice with water. And I can't remember how long he did this experiment for, but for over a period of time, maybe it was 4 weeks, I don't remember. But over a period of time, he would say to one glass with rice and water, "You look lovely today," or pay it a compliment. The other one he completely ignored. And then the third one, he would say, "You look hideous," or he would give a nasty remark to. And so every day he would do this. And so after the duration of the experiment, which like I said, I believe it was 4 weeks, you could actually see the difference in how the rice that was paid compliments, it rose to the top, it was nice and fluffy, and then the one that was completely ignored just stuck together and turned color, and then the one that there was negative comments said, it turned black.
Wow.
And it was just it's setting your intentions and putting that energy. We are all energy, guys.
Right.
So we
Right.
constantly, think about it this way, how many times have one of us gotten into a car, probably with one of us, and you're like, oh no, she's in a bad mood. And so then you just kind of look out the window awkwardly because you don't know what to do. Or the exact opposite side of the spectrum, you get in the car and you're greeted with, "Hey, how are you?" And even though you could be having a bad day, it still's kind of...
It's like smiling to somebody.
Yeah.
It's a nice gesture, and it does lift you. The one thing I do want to say, though,
Yes.
is because I think that sometimes there's a lot of conflict about this, is that if our words are so powerful, did we create something to happen? Our words are not that powerful that we can cause someone to pass. So I really wanted to clarify that, because that has been asked, when I was teaching about intentions, and that has been brought to my attention was, well, I thought this, I said this, did this create this happening? We're not that powerful. There's a soul contract that we're part of, but that was, even though that's their journey. Even with my child, that was his journey that I was part of, but I could not have caused that, or
Right.
no one can cause that for another.
Right.
It's funny you say that. Not funny at all that you say that, but my mother was terminally ill, and when she passed, at one point, I couldn't stand her suffering anymore. And I don't want to say I put it out there that I wanted her to die, but I almost prayed that she would go just so she wouldn't hurt anymore. And for the longest time, I thought that was for me.
And I recently spoke to someone regarding this, the same exact thing, and I think that's a very, very unselfish act of you, and I think that's beautiful that you said that to her. Because
You're going to make me cry, don't
I'm
you?
sorry.
No, that's okay. That's
But
okay.
I think
No.
it's so unselfish because you put her feelings, you said, I'll sacrifice and I'll be in pain by not having you physically here for you not to be in physical pain. And I think that's a huge sacrifice. And I
She
think
held on for a long time. She was in hospice for nine days before she even passed, and that's usually unusual. But towards the end, I said, you have to go. You have to go. I can't.
Yeah. Well, I think that what you did is a beautiful thing, but you
Thank
didn't
you.
cause it. But I think it's a very unselfish act to do
Thank
that.
you.
Because
Wow.
sometimes people will say, no, they have to stay here, and they will try to keep them here, but it's really for them, not for their loved ones.
Right.
Which is very difficult, of course, either
Right.
way. But I think it's beautiful, and don't ever feel guilty for that.
I don't
And you
anymore.
certainly did not have the power to send her off.
I wish. Well, although you wish for all the people, but no. All right, I got a question for you. Someone else is asking: is there any kind of training or exercise that one could use as a psychic to exercise to hone in their abilities?
A lot.
Yes, and I have a free seminar coming up on March 19th
There you go,
online.
folks.
So if you go to NecoleStephens.com, you can register. It's for free. And it's either online, it's connected with your loved ones, but it does go through different tools and different things that you can do to help use your mind instead of the muscles in your eyes.
Right? Right?
Right?
Good.
So,
Well, thank you for that.
One thing that I will say, and I'll just offer that right now, is learning to calm your mind is the start.
yeah, it's really, really, really hard.
Really difficult
But
to
that's
learn
where
to calm your
meditation
mind.
comes in.
And meditation is so key.
But I think I'm actually teaching an online seminar with learning how to meditate, because a lot of people really think, we sit there and hum, I am so high energy, as you can tell. I'm shaking it and I'm moving all the time, and I could never just sit and have my mind quiet. On top of that, it doesn't even happen. So I have to have music going, my headphones on, and if I fall asleep, I'm all good with that. It still gets in there,
Right,
and
right.
it's quieting my mind. And sometimes I get to that place, I don't want to be too sleepy, because I really will fall asleep sometimes, but I try to do mine at the same time every single day, so that I'm in a, it's usually after I go to the gym, I'm not too sleepy, just had a protein shake, I'm in a good place, and that seems to be good.
Well, it's funny because I was just going to recommend something too. You had mentioned going to the gym, and sometimes we don't always find time to go to the gym, right? The excuse? Well, we don't always find time to meditate. So why don't you get a meditating buddy? Some people have gym buddies. Why couldn't you get a meditating buddy? I know we've meditated together. I know we've meditated together.
Yes.
But at least it leaves you a chance to become, what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word? I just lost my train of thought. Not inhabit. Not dependent. Responsible. Just lost it.
That's
just
okay, it'll
lost
come
it.
to you when you stop thinking of it.
Right. But if
Someone
you
will be
have,
counting on you, so then you'll push each other, which is
that's
really
exactly
good.
what I mean. Like someone will be counting, but there's a word, and I
I
can't
actually
think of it.
teach once a week. Well, I had not been teaching them for a little while because I've been doing a lot more online because it's easier for everybody else, I
Right.
guess. But I actually teach meditation, and it's like I guide them through a meditation and go through this process, but it's the act of them just knowing. Every Wednesday night they're coming to my office and then they're meditating, and that gets them there. And then
Reliable.
it's-
That's it. Reliable.
I told you.
Thank you.
I'll just talk about other stuff. So by them coming to my office and doing it that way, then, it makes it a
Right,
habit
that's
to
a
them.
class. You have people are relying on you to be there.
Right. Well, it's not me though.
Ow.
I'm just a teacher.
That ring.
Sorry. I know. And it's so cold in here that it's so big, and it's unless my finger shrunk.
Which could be.
Could be. What kind
You-
of stone is that anyways? It's
Labradorite. This is like my baby.
beautiful. I guess so. It's gorgeous. It is
Thank
gorgeous.
you.
And your hands are freezing.
I know, it's a really cold.
My hands are
here.
cold. Oh, we have the same temperature. Oh, yours are nice and warm.
Always. Warm hands, cold heart, they said.
Oh,
No.
you got the opposite. One event that I want to mention that I'm super excited for is that February 28th, Nicole is going to be joining myself. Does that sound right? Nicole and I are going to be doing a Spirit Connections gallery reading.
Right. In person.
In person, in
Live.
Denver, live, in person. Tickets are available. You can definitely go to NecoleStephens.com.
I haven't
And we
actually
can-
posted it.
Well, surprise! Surprise! Lots of surprises. But,
And I
you can-
also, not to interrupt you, but I was going to announce this tonight because I haven't yet. I did add another day onto Philadelphia because they had,
wow.
well, I sold out the other days and I
Good.
had been getting requests for it. So I did add on the additional day, which I'm really excited about. So it'll now be the 29th, September 29th. Also.
See, I think Christine and I should start, I do a lot of traveling with Christine already.
Yes.
We do a lot of we're like a weekend warrior road trip.
We are.
So I think that we should, all three, maybe do some road trips and we can help each other out, energy-wise, because it's always good, especially if you're doing a lot of energy work. After doing readings after readings or a gallery reading, you become
In the cosmos, I
in
am.
the cosmos. We always have to have helpers.
We'll have-
Christine has helped me so many times. She's tied my shoes for me.
Yes, we have
She's
pictures
shown me
on
where
that.
the bathroom is.
It's so funny because after reading for 2 days straight, a friend of mine will help me. Michelle doesn't always get to travel with me, so a friend will help me. And she's like, I see you before and you're completely fine. And then after, I don't know where you are, what you're just, I've left the building completely. And by the time I get home, I usually will crash for like a week.
Well, I have a confession, because it's funny, you and I have recently talked about this, especially this week, how before reading we get really anxious.
Yeah,
and
I
we
always
start,
do.
because the energy starts flowing. Well, I did an event a couple weeks ago, and I said, because Christine was with me, and I said, okay, I just have to run to the bathroom. Christine said, I'll wait for you. And I noticed that I put my underwear on inside out. Yep. Yeah. And I just thought it's so random, but at the same time, like, you're not thinking. Like, when you're, that's how it is. I wasn't thinking, so I was just go, 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 get ready, anxiety, anxiety. People are starting to come through. I don't know who's coming through for who yet. And so.
Were you getting dressed in the bathroom?
No.
She was.
I had gotten dressed in the bath. I mean, I had gotten dressed already. I'd gotten dressed already, but I had to drive from where we were to the event. And so when I arrived at the event, I had to go to the bathroom before I went on.
Don't ask me why she announced it. But she just
Oh,
said
but I'm
no.
just saying you don't.
So,
I'm just saying you don't always think
You don't.
straight.
no, you really don't.
Before or after a reading, you don't think straight.
I eat carrots. I just keep it simple.
And you eat
I do raw carrots. They bring me right down.
Do you?
Yeah, really.
things
And I
that
sit on
grow
the
from the
floor.
ground keep you grounded.
Especially raw carrots. Like they're good.
You
Stasha
gotta do
eats them
that.
too.
For you.
Yeah, I think you should
Give me some tips,
definitely.
because you know what? The first time I ever went with her, and I didn't know what I was supposed to do, but guide her. That's all I did was kind of like, all right, turn left now. Okay, turn right now. She had.
I went to Connecticut and did sessions there, and it was a very emotional, heavy sessions. It was beautiful, and I was leaving there, and I actually was driving myself back to the hotel, which probably wasn't the best idea. And there was a rotary. I just kept going around, and I couldn't find my way off of it. And I kept going around and around. And I was
Big Band
talking
Parliament.
to my friend, and she was asking me how it was, it might have even been my husband. I don't know who I was talking to. All he kept saying was, "I'm going around the rotary. I just don't know how to get off."
And that's why you need someone to
Someone.
go with. And it's bad because we say, oh, well, we have each other. Yeah,
Yeah, but we never
Tweedledee,
get-
Tweedledum, because afterwards we're both like, want French fries? Okay. How are we going to get there? I don't know. Wait, stop at McDonald's. No, Burger King. Like, where? Oh.
I don't eat that stuff.
Oh, okay. If you saw what was under the table.
No, that,
Giggle, giggle.
Wow.
All
We're
right,
going
it's
that
just my
direction.
drink.
Okay.
We should announce
Moving on.
something.
So let's announce this. So what is coming up?
Yes. After the show.
Yes.
After the show tonight,
Tonight.
guys, you can go back on to SpookySouthCoast.com/SpookyTV, how you got here in the first place. 10 p.m., my good friends, Aaron and Manny, the producers of the Bridgewater Triangle documentary.
You should watch.
They're going to be filming. You can purchase a small donation of a ticket before you watch it. It's awesome. You can watch it in your own home. You can have the lights off, have some popcorn. I've seen it before, and I don't know if you guys have seen it
I
yet,
haven't seen it
but
yet,
it's
but-
been blowing up. I know for you guys that are Uplifting Connections fans, it's been at Uplifting Connections for at least 3 times, sold out, 60 seats like that. Everywhere they go, it's sold out, and it's based on the Bridgewater Triangle, which is, well, I'll let you watch it. But it's if you like
heard about
cryptozoology, if you're interested in, especially the people around here in Wareham, you local viewers, it's something that you don't want to miss. It definitely opens your eyes to a lot of things, a lot of possibilities, and I give these 2 guys a lot of credit for doing what they did. You guys will see Andrew Lake on there, John Brightman, Matt Moniz, now my mind's blank. Mike Markowitz will be there. Tim Weisberg will be on there. A lot of familiar faces that have been on Spirit Connections are going to be in the documentary, so I highly recommend that you watch that tonight at 10 p.m.